where around the world the promiscuity is rampant, either people with themselves or with other people. But what ends up happening is that people eventually become desensitized much earlier. I read a study that was done by a team of scientists about the pornography industry. Now don't worry, they don't show any pictures, Baruch Hashem. This is legitimate research. And the research says that one of the biggest poisons in the generation that we have right now is the epidemic called pornography. And the reason why is because it's very easy to get addicted to it. The whole internet was built based on pornography, by the way. Originally the internet started as a government project, but then it went into people's homes because it was all porno sites. There are somewhere in the neighborhood between 80 or 800 million websites full of pornography. It's everywhere. It's a complete disaster. But a lot of people don't realize the logistics behind it, what goes on behind pornography. One of the facts is the fact that people watch so much of it because it's free, that they become desensitized to things that are normal, meaning normal man and woman. So they become desensitized to it, so they want something more. So what's more? Now they want multiple people. Then eventually that's not enough, they want the whole dialogue to be abnormal. So they start giving you the number one most popular pornography that there is sold today is a dialogue based on incest. Meaning people are watching this, and in many cases learning about intimacy from a story that talks about something that's incestual, that's abnormal to any new human being. A guy with his mother, his sister, his brother, filthy, disgusting things. And if that's not enough, that's not enough. They continue watching it. Well, then they start moving on to homosexuality, and then eventually becomes bestiality. That's why right now in America, there's 1% of the population. Now 1% in Israel is not a lot of people. 1% in America is about 4 million people. Admit that they commit intimacy with animals on a regular basis. Talk about 4 million people admit in America that they commit intimacy with animals. This is where we live. And it's the ones that admit. Shem Yachem, who knows how much don't admit. So I'm not trying to talk to you about taboo things for some type of clicks. I'm explaining to you that we're in a sick generation, and there's a reason for it. The Rabbi Nachman Breslev, Alav Shalom, in Lekutei Maharan, writes, the reason why Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar, all of these Reshaim that lived a few thousand years ago, it's mentioned that they were with animals. He says the reason why people get to that point is because of they fulfill every one of their desires, normal desires, to the point where it's no longer enjoyable. They have to go towards something more taboo. So they start expressing themselves in different, more provocative, filthy ways. Eventually that's not enough, and they keep doing more and more and more different things. Now, the prostitution world is one of the most critical places that allows all of this to happen, because a lot of people are not going to fulfill their filthy desires with their wife or with their husband. Who are they going to do with? Somebody from China that's looking to make a few $100 and doesn't care about her body, doesn't care about her morals, doesn't care about anything. And the reality is, Rabotai, when a person causes other people to sin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says you've lost your right to live. Now, this promiscuity has led an entire generation of ignorant people that don't even understand the magnitude of the sin to become completely ignorant of what they're doing to society at large. Right now we have a situation where people are watching these filthy films, and in many cases, according to this study by these researchers, by these scientists, they say that many of the films are not even, people assume that they're permissible, meaning that the actors want to be there. Many times the actors don't want to do it. Many times it's rape. Many times when you're paying $5, $50, $500, whatever you're paying for one of these filthy movies, many times you're witnessing a rape. It's not even, she doesn't want to be in it. She's some nobody in the middle of nowhere that said yes to the wrong guy, and that's it. He's taping her. No one's ever going to know who she is after that. That is much of the pornography films in the world today. So what ends up happening is that when people watch pornography, not only are they making a sin against themselves and against HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but also against mankind. They are facilitating this type of rape, they're facilitating this type of behavior, they're facilitating the prostitution in the world. And many of these victims, Hashem Yachem, they're damaged for life. Even though they've made their own mistakes, they never thought this is going to happen to them. Now, what ends up happening, Rabotai, is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu at some point says, "Die, enough. Enough's enough." And he says, I'm going to bring something that's going to scare everyone. Exactly. Jews, non-Jews. He's going to scare the ones that are paying attention, the ones that are not paying attention. He's going to scare the young and the old. And he brings a plague to the world. He brings some type of major damage to the world. And he says, Am Yisrael, you have to learn Musar from this. You see that they're dying like flies? You have a lesson to learn from this. Don't do what they do. They kill animals and eat them while they're still alive. Don't do that. Even if you're on vacation. They're promiscuous with their body and care less about human life. Don't do that. Even if you're on vacation, even if you're divorced, even if you're married, even if you're young, even if you're old, even if you're rich, even if you're not. Don't follow their actions. You're not them. Whether you like it or not, you will never be a goy if you're born a Jew. If you converted to Judaism, once you become a Jew, you're going to stay a Jew and you'll be judged as a Jew.